16th branch of Megamart and Macromart supermarkets in Bahrain has opened in Sahala. The best offers are available to the customers at affordable rates. Everyone is welcome. During and around the opening day, a variety of fish including salmon, meat and dairy products, roastery, frozen items, food and non-food items, groceries, fruits and vegetables, electronics, garments and ready-to-eat food items are available to the customers at affordable rates. Hearty welcome to all. Megamart and Macromart, your favorite shopping destination.
The exclusive franchisee of Cochin Kala Bhavan in Bahrain, with over a decade of existence in Bahrain. Exclusive online regular classes have started for classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music, cinematic dance, Kathak, Zumba body fitness, karate and yoga, drawing, arts and craft, children's theatre. For more information, please call 3909 6845 3909 4806 3885 2397 or visit www.bahrainmediacity.com. Since 2006, Magnum Imprint have been offering high standards of quality with our professional team that delivers all your advertising and promotional requirements efficiently and promptly. For more details, please contact 39887088 or 33856330 or 33542530.
With the ease of a breeze, intricately tapping his feet to rhythms so precise, articulating a katha amidst the gentle tinkling of scores of angle bells. A Bahraini who took to the Indian performing art, the Kathak, Khalil Alashar. A dancer par excellence, Khalil has been able to master the art, a genre of ancient Indian classical dance traditionally linked to the bards of the northern part of the country, with authenticity and professionalism in a very short span. His talent and dedication made him excel in his passion, making him popular on local, regional and international stages and workshops. Khalil started his Kathak training in 2008 under his guru Srimati Prachi Dikshit and was subsequently trained by the duet Maulik Shah and Ishira Parekh at Anat Foundation, Ahmedabad, India. With a master's in Kathak from Bharatiya Vidyapeeth University, Pune, and a bachelor's in religious studies from California State University, Khalil is continuing his Kathak training under Guru Murli Mohan Kalva. He has also completed the Sangeet Prabhakar from Prayag Sangeet Samiti, Allahabad, and Sangeet Visharad from Prachin Kala Kendra. Khalil established the Tatkar School of Kathak in Bahrain in 2017, where he teaches a structured curriculum that nurtures students carefully on the art and readies them for performances and diplomas in Kathak. Prior, he was teaching under the guidance of his guru, Srimati Prachi Dikshit, at Nupur Academy, Los Angeles. Having performed across the US, Europe, Japan, India, and Bahrain, Khalil is the recipient of the International Nritya Shiromani Award at the 7th Kathak Mahotsav in Orissa, India. He is also a member of the International Dance Council UNESCO of Dance since 2019. Joining us this week on Success Statements from BMC Global Live, a show which features people who make a difference, it is the Bahraini who took to narrating myths and epics the Indian way, Kathak exponent Khalil Alashar. To the tunes of his gently tingling ankle bells, this Bahraini man narrates tales from the myths and legends of the subcontinent. Kathak exponent Khalil Alashar is joining us this evening on Success Statements from BMC Global Live, a show which features people who make a difference. Good evening, Khalil. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Happy Onam to you.
Same to you and to the entire Mallu community of Bahrain.
Thank you very much. And that was very sweet of you to address very raw as Mallu community.
Yes, that's what we're used to. I mean, that's how they talk about themselves and to me about themselves. And I feel always included, so I feel comfortable about it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's a compliment. Yes, we really embrace people. We are a community which embraces people, and happy to know that you feel that belongingness.
Of course.
Great. So it happens to be our Onam special episode. BMC is going through its Onam celebrations of 21 days long, and I'm indeed honored to have a Bahraini man who's embraced an Indian dance form with us this evening on this show. Let me begin with this question. What do you think is beautiful about Kathak?
That's a very tough question.
Okay.
Let me tell you this. What attracted me to the dance form and what I thought was beautiful when I started was the bells. Okay. As you see in all classical forms, they all use gungrus or bells or chalanga. However, in Kathak there's more to it. There's the synchronization to the rhythm. It's the dancer's instrument, and we use it to produce different sounds from different parts of the foot. And my biggest attraction to it was the number of bells that we use. At least for an adult who knows how to use them and been in it for a while, there's 100 on each ankle. So to me, that's the beauty, number one. And second comes the grace and that we see in Kathak, as well as the flexibility of the dance form. By that I mean how dancers have adapted to address different issues in the society, such as global warming, which is the biggest topic right now, climate change, to addressing social issues. The dance form is very fluid and flexible, not necessarily exploring or sticking to the traditional movement, but opening up and I dare say adapting some movements from other dance forms.
Okay.
And interpreting in its own style. I don't mean changing, but the beauty is taking it in and putting it out in Kathak.
Right.
That's the beauty.
Okay. Yeah, you just mentioned about the beautiful side of Kathak, and obviously those are the reasons what took you to Kathak. But tell us your journey. Like, when did you start learning Kathak, and how did you come to Kathak? How did you take that interest?
My journey began while I was in college.
Okay.
Not in Bahrain, this was in the US in Los Angeles. I went there simply at the age of 16, you know, like any other college student I started, and a year later when I was 17, I randomly came across a billboard on the road, Indian dance show. I was already loving dance and I only saw it through Bollywood. I thought, well, hey, let's go and see this, a good weekend thing to do. I watched the show. It was a Kathak show. I didn't know what Kathak was. As I mentioned, I saw the bells, the pirouettes, the live musicians they had. I was just in awe for the whole night. I went home the same night, looked up the same dance institute and joined immediately.
Okay.
That's how it started. Now, if you ask my teacher, she will say that she thought it was a joke, that and she couldn't believe, you know, she thought someone was playing a prank on her, that a young boy of 17 years old wanting to join dance. But from there it began, my journey began as a hobby.
So before that time, you've never danced or never took any interest to any forms of dance?
I danced in my room with the door locked.
Okay.
To different Bollywood numbers
Okay.
from the movies, and I would copy each and every step.
Okay, so you had it in you.
Yes, yes, yes.
So was that easy, learning Kathak, and as you said, the very gentle, the pirouettes and the graceful movements, was it easy?
No.
Did it come to you easy?
No, no, no. It might have come to me a little easier, but it is difficult, like anyone starting a journey in classical dance, I should say. It's always difficult and challenging in the beginning, and you question, like, why am I doing this movement? But in the beginning, my teacher did not explain why in detail. She said, just do it for now. So I had to be patient. I spoke with my teacher. I said, I'm not getting the step or that movement. That's putting my hand in a certain way. She said, give it some time. And yeah, now I tell the same thing to my students. Patience is key. And yeah, it was difficult, but I enjoyed that process.
Kathak, right? Did you think of any other dance forms like there are many other dance forms in India, isn't it?
I honestly love all the dance forms. My favorite and my first exposure, I should say, was to Bharatanatyam.
Bharatanatyam. Okay.
Yes. My second favorite is Odissi.
Okay.
I absolutely adore it. I took one class of Bharatanatyam because where we had my teacher's dance studio, next door, sharing a wall, was Bharatanatyam. There was a Bharatanatyam studio there. So I talked to the teacher. I said, can I come for one class? I really would love to give it a try. And I never went back after that.
Why
one class. It was already, I believe, a year or two into my Kathak journey. I thought, let me give it a try. My body had adapted by that time to Kathak, and doing the Aramandi and sitting down in 1 hour class, I thought, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can do this.
Okay.
So that scared me a little. So I thought, you know what, let me just enjoy Bharatanatyam by seeing it, attending shows and programs and supporting it that way.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting journey. I always thought that you had a liking for it from childhood, and then you took to. It's pretty interesting to know that at 17 you took a liking. It was a passion. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can see that in your performances. And now tell us about your newfound love of 2017, the school that you established in Bahrain.
Yeah. Tatkar School of Kathak is what I called it. Tatkar is the footwork which we do.
Okay.
We learn it from day one, the basic footwork. And it's my favorite thing to do. So I thought, why not name it after my most favorite thing to do in Kathak. And I make sure I include Tatkar in my repertoire of any form of Tatkar. I make sure I include it. I began in 2017 with 1 or 2 students.
Okay.
And I was very hesitant, not sure why, because I was venturing out for the first time on my own. And before that, I was in the US under my teacher, my Guruji. So I was under her wing. I never had to deal with all of this, you know, on my own. However, I should mention Dr. Nidhi Menon. She pushed me and said, you know, let's do this. I want to learn from you. Come on, do it. I said, fine. And that's when it started. Slowly, by word of mouth. I got phone calls and I saw an acceptance. So I started forming structured classes and groups and different levels. To be honest, it created me and forced me to build myself as an independent teacher. That was my first proper step alone. I was teaching, but I was an assistant teacher under my Guruji. Now I'm all alone. So it really, really was an experience, I think. And I think it happened at the right time. So it was a blessing to start that time.
Okay. Where are you located in Bahrain?
I am, Bahrain being so small, I would say in Jufair, Zinj area, and recently in Manama also.
Okay.
I collaborate with the Maharashtra Cultural Society.
Okay.
And I recently began a new batch there.
Okay.
So there is quite an acceptance and people want to come and learn. One good thing is performing in Bahrain is we have, you know, I would say the whole society comes to watch. And then they're like, okay, Kathak is not, you know, doesn't seem that boring. Let me join. And I've heard that. I'm not saying it on my own. People come and say, oh, you know, we thought it's so boring being classical, but after watching you, we really enjoyed it. We think it's not anymore.
Okay.
So I heard that and I realized, okay, I need to really change the approach on stage. That is the way we are looking, people are seeing us. Then the performance on stage needs to change and adapt to today's times, and make them understand what we're performing. So that's when I start see people coming in, appreciating the dance more, understanding it more. And this way it becomes more accessible to everyone, not just the ones educated in it. It has to be accessible to everyone without background. They should be able to enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it is a Bahraini man speaking to us about an Indian art form and how it can be made adaptable. With me this evening on this Onam special episode, it is Kathak exponent Khalil Alashar. Let's take a short break.
The 16th branch of Megamart and Macromart supermarkets in Bahrain has opened in Sahla. The best offers are available to the customers at affordable rates. Everyone is welcome. During and around the opening day, a variety of fish including salmon, meat and dairy products, roastery, frozen items, food and non-food items, groceries, fruits and vegetables, electronics, garments and ready-to-eat food items are available to the customers at affordable rates. Hearty welcome to all. Megamart and Macromart, your favorite shopping destination.
Welcome back to Success Statements from BMC Global Live, and with me tonight is Khalil Alashar. Khalil, let me take you back to the very first point you mentioned when we started this chat, and let me link it to a dancer's responsibility to the society. I know you have experimented some of those kinds, isn't it? Bringing in some social themes or global themes into dance, other than limiting it to legends and myths and tales from the epics. How do you look at, you being a dancer yourself, how do you look at your social responsibility, and how do you think artists can live up to this by adapting, or like you said, being innovative? How do you look at it?
In this time, I believe, like I mentioned, we have to use our dance to send out messages to the public. Of course, while learning the dance form, we are taught the traditional stories like from the epics and so on. Later, as a professional, we should take that responsibility of sending out urgent messages, I should say. The most common one and the most urgent message is of climate change. I honestly have not delved into it, as in I have not explored putting it out through my dance. However, I should point, I have seen a few works. Last month I was in Edinburgh, Scotland, and they have the famous Fringe Festival. I attended a few Kathak performances, and one of them was called The Ticking Clock.
The Ticking Clock, okay.
I did not read the synopsis before going because I wanted to be surprised, and I sure was. It was one of those where it delivered the message using props like plastic and all. It delivered the message, and I should say this, I'm getting goosebumps right now remembering it. The way it was done, in the music, the clock was ticking.
Okay.
And something we all relate to is the alarm on our phone. Every once in a while, the alarm will go off, and the dancers would change their mood, and they start walking faster, and all of a sudden they're surrounded by so much plastic, and they're just walking faster. They forgot face-to-face touch. They're so busy in their own lives. They're not talking to each other anymore, and it's just plastic all over. I, as a spectator, felt anxious watching it. So I believe that was the idea and message the dancer was delivering and wanted the spectator to feel. That's how it should be. I felt anxious and I was uneasy. I realized then it was because of the choreography, the music, the movement, what was going on stage. I felt it. And I knew from that point, okay, this has to be taken seriously. The message was delivered. So this is what we should do. Simple things, and it was only 40 minutes of the program. That was more than enough to deliver a message. Other dancers, and I might be working on something in the near future, address things like human trafficking, which I might be working on next year. Using stories of our mythology, from Hindu mythology, we can relate it to I have something, I don't want to reveal it yet, but related to human trafficking and so on, which happens everywhere we see it, and it's in its different forms. So yes, we can use it, we should use it.
You just mentioned about the ticking clock incident which touched you. Is there any such memorable moments about your performances which you remember? Because one of my favorites of yours is the Krishna in Bhavahara. It was amazing. It was a very short presentation, but then it was so capturing. Are there any favorites of yours like that, of your performances, and any memorable moments that you would want to share with us?
Yes, of course. Bhavahara was really fun experimental work.
It was amazing, trust me.
Yes, especially collaborating all the different dance styles. That was, I should say, the first time we premiered it, I felt, it was a feeling I cannot describe when the curtain rose and the light came on very, it was fading in very slowly, and the smoke. Something really was going on inside me. I cannot describe it, but it was one of these moments that I really remember. It was a special program. It was my first grand program in Bahrain also, and working with a wonderful team of talented dancers. That was a great thing. Another program, I shall say, which was special to me back in 2014 in the US.
Okay.
This was a festival my Guruji had arranged, naming the festival after her Guruji in his honor, Guru Kanhaiya Dance Festival, we named it. And it was a 2-day dance festival. On the first day we premiered a beautiful concept merging Krishna and Kali.
Okay.
It was called The Sword and the Flute. That was a new experimental work. That was a memorable work also. The second day is what I was trying to get to. We hosted 4 dancers from India and I believe 4 musicians from India, which was a big deal for a place like Los Angeles, especially for Kathak. The experience I had sharing the stage with these wonderful and big names in Kathak from India. They said, yes, you can dance with us, why not? And just sharing the stage for 5 to 10 minutes with them was a dream come true. And I still, to this day, reminisce those moments. It was a learning process where we choreographed a dance, I think, in 2 days and got on stage together, synchronizing, improvising with each other and feeding off each other's energy and vibes and reading with a split second, reading each other's mind and presenting something at the same time.
Great.
That was something amazing, amazing really.
Great, yeah. I can see the feeling on your face. You're really emoting it.
Yes, yes.
Great. Coming back to Kathak in Bahrain, how popular do you think is this dance form in Bahrain? And you being a Bahraini, do you have Bahraini students?
One.
Yes? Okay.
That's a good start, I think.
Yes, okay.
Kathak in Bahrain is very minimal. However, it's growing in the recent years. Since I came,
because compared to Bharatanatyam or Mohiniyattam, we see a lot of shows and a lot of debut performances every other day, isn't it? Not much of that in Kathak.
Yeah, yeah. Now you do see a little more.
More than before, okay.
Yes. I feel it's my responsibility to spread it a little more in Bahrain. What I try to do through my school, Tatkar School of Kathak, is whenever possible, on an annual basis, invite Kathak dancers from India, professionals, and expose them to the community by having a program, a cultural program, by having a lecture demonstration or even workshops. And I open the workshops for my students and other students in Bahrain. So it's accessible to all Kathak students. So that's one way of spreading it out. And I should say educating the Bahraini crowd about Kathak. That still needs to be done. When it comes to having Bahraini students, it's I have only one at the moment.
But yeah, as you said, one is there, and that could be a good start.
Yeah. So when we had a recent program in June called Nrityarpan in collaboration with the Maharashtra Cultural Society. We hosted Miss Shrimati Tejaswini Sathe from Pune. So she was here as an examiner for my students, and I took that opportunity to have a performance as well and an interactive session with my students in class. So they loved it, you know, having someone, a new face coming in, especially after a 2-year break. The crowd loved it, and we really had a great response. For Bahrainis, however, we try to include them in these programs. having guests, inviting people to watch, and having chief guests and guests of honor, people of name in Bahrain, to come and see what is going on in the community. Unfortunately, the only exposure there is to the general crowd, I would say, is Bollywood. So they know that, and if they say, the dance that Madhuri did.
Okay.
I said, yeah, that dance is what I do, and it's called Kathak. So I said, okay, can you teach us that dance? I said, maybe not. There's much more to learn first. Okay. But still, it will take a while, but I'm taking on that responsibility.
On that note, I would want to touch upon the very important point which you just mentioned, you know, the capsule learning. Like you said, like teach me the Madhuri dance. That applies to many art forms of late, you know, even the parents we see coming forward and telling like, can you train them on this bit for a performance? Do you recommend that as a master yourself?
No. And a definite no. I have seen it happen here where the students are trained in Bharatanatyam or a combination of Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, Mohiniyattam. That's already combining the Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean and the Indian Ocean together. So imagine the vast knowledge of these three art forms. Plus, when it comes to competition time, they will add Kathak to it and folk dance. And they will only learn a little bit for that competition. I honestly do not recommend it. I've judged the dance competitions. It's not a fair representation of the dance form. I think it's best to stick to what you have. And I tell my students, some of them are doing Bharatanatyam and Kathak with me. I said, don't do anything else. And later when they get higher in school, they say, it's really tough balancing it. I said, well, choose one. I don't mind you leaving me, or I would love for you to stay, but choose one. You need to do justice to it. Don't jeopardize the dance form. You're misrepresenting it. So that's my thing. I really don't like it.
And I think that justice comes with passion, isn't it? Yeah. Only when you're passionate, you can choose really one and stick to that.
Yes. And those who take it up, let me say this, you can see the difference immediately.
Yes.
Those who do the dance form, forget Kathak, any dance form, do it properly. And those who took a crash course, compare it, and any untrained or trained eye can tell the difference.
Right. Very well said. There is no shortcut to perfection. And with me tonight is Khalil Alashar on Success Statements from BMC Global Live. And on that note, let's take a short break.
The 16th branch of Megamart and Macromart supermarkets in Bahrain has opened in Sahala. The best offers are available to the customers at affordable rates. Everyone is welcome. During and around the opening day, a variety of fish including salmon, meat and dairy products, roastery, frozen items, food and non-food items, groceries, fruits and vegetables, electronics, garments and ready-to-eat food items are available to the customers at affordable rates. Hearty welcome to all. Megamart and Macromart, your favorite shopping destination.
Welcome back to Success Statements from BMC Global Live, and with me tonight is a beautiful and elegant Kathak dancer, Khalil. Khalil, tell us about your family. I only know that you're a Bahraini.
Like any other Bahraini, I would say we are a family of 7.
Okay. Which part of Bahrain are you from?
I was born and raised in Sanad.
Okay.
Okay. My family, I would say, comes from Muharraq, and then they shifted to Gudaibiya, finally landing in Isa town.
Okay.
That's where my parents met. I should say their parents met and arranged it.
Okay.
We are 5 siblings, and I'm the middle child. I have a very loving and close family, and a very supportive one.
Okay.
Very, very supportive one. You know, they will help out in any way possible, and always be there and make sure I'm taking it easy, because I'm always on the run.
Okay.
But yes, a very traditional Bahraini family in that sense.
Great.
Yeah.
What are your other passions or hobbies? Of course, I know Kathak is your full-time passion and hobby and engagement, but other than that, what do you love?
If you follow me, and those who follow me on social media, they'll know traveling.
Traveling. Okay. Right. Yeah.
I love traveling. My first love, let me confess, was to be a pilot. Aviation was my first love.
All right.
I wanted to be a pilot ever since I can remember, running down the aisles on an airplane and just trying to explore every corner as a kid. And to this day, it is my hobby. So I track flights, I follow flights, follow new destinations opening up and what is there to do, and always while on a vacation looking out for the next vacation. Where can it be, when can it be, and how much does it cost?
Okay.
Traveling is a big, I should say, hobby now for me.
Great.
Yes.
Great. Khalil, 5 years from now, where do we see Tatkar? And where do we see you? You have a personal goal or a vision in life. What is it? 5 years to 10 years from now, what is your...
5 years, I want to see Kathak all over Bahrain. I want my students to start doing their Arangetrams in Bharatanatyam. Here we call it Rangmanch Pravesh.
Rangmanch Pravesh. Okay.
Yes.
Arangetram is a very common word.
Yes.
Because we get to hear it with the Bharatanatyam.
Yes.
Plan.
So I tell we call it Rangmanch Pravesh. I want my students to come up that way and present themselves. I want to present them in Bahrain. And I want Tatkar to really move ahead and be recognized as what it is and what it is delivering right now. We are delivering some of the best quality of Kathak in Bahrain, and I'm not just talking about myself, but I have that confidence in myself and my school that we are not threatened by anyone, that we call others from outside, guest performers, guest teachers. You know, I allow that exposure for my students. So in 5 years, I want my school to be very, very well known here. For myself, my goal has always been to have a performing troupe of my own.
Interesting.
That is made up of my students. I want to choreograph works and work with a number of my dedicated students and be able to take our work abroad and perform. So here I'm combining 2 passions, traveling and dance together.
That's right.
That is my goal.
Great, interesting. All the very best.
Thank you.
I hope to be here witnessing the growth. Of course, Tatkar is the very first Kathak school in Bahrain, isn't it?
Yeah.
We don't have another institute, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
Okay. So I'm sure with all your passion and dedication, it's definitely going to
Of course. And I should say, it's not only my work. I have an amazing group of the students' parents, my adult students. They are an amazing support, a simple message, and the help is there. So though I'm running, it's a one-man show, but there are many people behind the scene So I must give them all the credit as well.
Just curious, let me ask you this question, since you're out here telling me that you would wish to popularize the art form and you're talking of students, how affordable is learning Kathak and the performances? Because definitely Indian classic dance forms are expensive. That's what at least I've heard. How about Kathak?
It's see, classical art forms, yes, they are expensive. At the end of the day, the teacher is trying to make a living as well from teaching. As you might know, any artist, anyone in performing arts and surviving only on that knows how difficult it is. Classical dance is a special skill. So when you're learning something special, you are putting in the effort, you have to give it its value as well. So when people say, oh, it's very expensive, I said, well, I don't think it is, given what you go to learn. That little price you pay per month, say, is nothing compared to what you get. You are paying for what you get. It's not expensive. Of course, every teacher will have their own rates and fees and all of that.
And I was just not talking only about the fees.
Yes.
I was talking about a performance, you know, to stage a performance. How affordable do you think it is? It's a common man's question, you know.
It's not affordable. Simply put, it's not affordable. From the costs, there are a lot of hidden costs we don't think about. First and foremost, you have a theater rental, then you have costumes. You have a light and sound engineers, right? We have to get our music recorded, which costs a lot. So no one thinks about that. We sometimes forget the cost of music recording because each dancer produces their own thing. It's not ready-made tracks. It's an expensive affair.
Right, I agree. Yeah, I understand. But then on that note, maybe it's my request to you, since you are out there to spread Kathak, I think you should also work on those, like as to how you can.
Since we're talking about the expensive affair, it's my humble request for patrons who are out there to show their support a little more graciously and readily, I should say. We like to have more support from whoever is out there, be it personal or corporates. So I would like to see more of that.
Yes, you have reminded the people out there, the art lovers, the dance lovers out there, of their responsibility as well. Well, Khalil, that was a beautiful evening chat, and it is Onam season. As we come to the very auspicious day tomorrow, and even tonight is very auspicious. The eve of Onam is an auspicious day as well. And the Bahrain Media City is celebrating Onam with 21 days of celebrations, and you happen to be one of the guests of that day. Your Onam wishes and thoughts to our audience, please.
I'd like to wish everyone a very happy Onam, and I think it's one of the biggest festivals, and we can see it evidently in Bahrain.
And after 2 years.
Yes, everyone is very happy to get out and celebrate, and I really want to wish Bahrain Media City as well a very happy Onam to all its members and the staff, and I think for a great year ahead. I'm very happy to always be included in these celebrations, always invited and remembered for Onam Sadhya, and you know, so it's always a pleasure to be a part of it. I think it's wonderful, and I wish everyone a very happy Onam.
Thank you very much, Khalil. We wish you all the very best, and Onam wishes as well. May all your dreams come true, because with that, Bahrain will get a wonderful Kathak school and a Kathak teacher, and let's see more Bahrainis following your footsteps alongside Indians. All the very best.
Thank you very
once
much.
Again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. a creatively talented artist, a committed and responsible dancer. That was Kathak exponent Khalil Alashar with me on Success Statements from BMC Global Live, a show which features people who make a difference. And on that note, wishing all of you a very happy Onam. This is Raji Unnikrishnan signing off until we meet with yet another guest next week. Good night.
The exclusive franchisee of Cochin Kala Bhavan in Bahrain, with over a decade of existence in Bahrain. Exclusive online regular classes have started for classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music, cinematic dance, Kathak, Zumba body fitness, karate and yoga, drawing, arts and craft, children's theatre. For more information, please call 3909 6845 3909 4806 3885 2397 or visit www.bahrainmediacity.com. Since 2006, Magnum Imprint have been offering high standards of quality with our professional team that delivers all your advertising and promotional requirements efficiently and promptly. For more details, please contact 39887088 or 33856330 or 335425